Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to your Pisces full moon reading. And this full moon is going to be happening on September 20th around 5:54 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, that's going to be when it's going to be at its fullest. And I love that this one's called the autumn moon, because whatever moon is closest to the autumn equinox, that one gets to have the title and wins the title of autumn moon. And since the autumn equinox happens on September 22nd, this one obviously is a couple days away. So that is why it's the autumn moon. So a little tidbit of fun information there. And I love that we're coming into this Pisces full moon following 2 consecutive months in Aquarius, with Aquarius full moons, 2 in a row. And those bring in this energy of hopes and dreams, of building community, assisting the whole collective in its evolution towards unconditional love. Now that can also put us into this sort of a stagnant dream state where we're daydreaming off in the future about this is what we want, and we may not take action toward it. But what's beautiful is this Pisces full moon brings in a perfect balance between the dreaminess and the dreaming and looking into the future, but also taking practical steps towards our goals. And it's also, of course, with it being Pisces, it's a time of deep emotions. Full moon alone has deep emotions. And so definitely when you bring in Pisces into it, you do have a very expanded, explosive, emotional type energy. That also means the veil will be extra thin between the physical world and with our spiritual companions, our spiritual posse on the other side. So if we are unsure of the next steps we want to take, those practical steps, or we need advice, Spirit is waiting for, to give us the answers, to answer our questions, give us guidance and all that. Also, next month we'll be having a full moon in Aries. So Aries brings in a lot of, drive and ambition and inspiration. So we'll have a lot of extra energy to funnel into our progress on those practical steps, but also keeping in mind that Pisces, that's the end of the zodiac, kind of cycle, and we're starting a new one. So that can also bring in some possible revisions and alter our course a bit. So something to keep in mind as we're going forward. Now, the last new moon in Pisces was back on March 13th of this year. So, when you look at the new moon, full moon cycles, it's about 6 months apart-ish, give or take a couple weeks, a few weeks. And so beyond the monthly phase, kind of moon phases, we have this large 6-month moon phase that happens. And so whatever was planted and kind of started at the new moon in Pisces, this full moon is the climax of that stuff. And then we start to, kind of wane back to the new moon, the next new moon in Pisces, which will be down, further down 6 months-ish from now. So back then, if you look back around March 13th, you might see that you were encouraged to kind of take this leap of faith, have this courage to share a dream, or you were harnessing, extra creativity. There's this huge energy around it about taking this movement forward or forward movement. And so now is the time to revisit the plans we had back then, our dreams, whatever it was, and see what alterations we now want to make, what changes we want to make to those plans. What are we ready to let go of that no longer, is needed, no longer serves our, possibly altered dream, especially as we move into the Aries full moon. So for this reading, what we're going to ask is, what does Spirit want us to know about next steps? And so we're going to go ahead and jump in for your reading right now. All right, all my Virgos, this is your reading for your Pisces moon. And we are going to pull some cards here, or a card here from the bird messages, since we're asking Spirit what they want you to know about your next steps. Why not call upon the bird messengers? So we'll see what bird is going to be bringing you messages around your next steps here and what they have to say. All right, Creator, for our Virgos, what bird? What bird has messages? What you bring? Oh, that one right here. This is the one right here. You got the painted stork. It says, parenthood and caring for family brings much joy. Aw, I love that. So let's see what other message comes with here. So next steps for you really have to be about being a caregiver, but let me not jump ahead here. It says, stork arrives at her nesting site in burgeoning spring, harbinger of fertility, its quarterly prosperity, and all of life's fecundity, Fecundity. I'm learning a lot. I'm going to look up these words. Naturally, her chicks flourish in their ample stick nest atop India's perfumed mimosa trees. Stork attends her garrulous downy offspring with the greatest of care. She brings them delicious fishy morsels from her wetland habitat, and when the sun beats hard upon their delicate skin, she stands on long pink legs for hours after long hours, her wings outspread, shading them from its coruscating rays. If stork has landed in your cards, it's to remind you of the pleasure and deep security familial closeness brings, of the joy of caring and allowing family to care for us in return. Such feelings are profoundly different in quality and effect from those engendered by the virtual friends and family of social media. And above all, she speaks of the rapture of parenthood. So yeah, definitely there's, this is a general reading, so it'll be different for each individual. But it's like this, for one, it's like your true blood family. It's about the joy that comes with you spending actually time with them. And so these next steps are about considering how much time your plans will take out of your life, because you still want to make sure you have time for that blood family. The other second thing was about that your chosen family. Some of you don't have this closeness with your blood family, so it's the chosen family that you have. So it's like, consider the steps that you're going to do, what it's going to do with your time that you're spending with like your true friends and that chosen family, like I said. And because we can sometimes get so busy and so focused and so task oriented that we put those to the side. And the third is actually what I really felt in here is about, this is your inner child. It's about you parenting yourself. And so as you're going through these things, about making sure you're taking time to nurture your inner child, to being the parent to you, because sometimes you can be so self-sacrificial to be parents for or interaction with your family, your whichever type of family you have, that you sacrifice yourself. Like this stork it was talking about, stands hours for long hours sacrificing itself, but it's like, yeah, but you also they also want you to make sure you consider that you need to do that for you, because you, out of anyone on the entire planet, deserve your love and attention. And so making sure you're at least balancing it with your family, the family and friends, if not making sure you prioritize yours above everyone else's, giving yourself not just 50-50, but like 75-25 or 90-10 or 100-0 at times, right? All right, we're also going to pull some cards here from the Fairy Tarot, and we're just going to pick pick a card for the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and then 2 weeks after the full moon. To see what the Creator, what Spirit has for you regarding your next steps. All right, Creator, for week number 1, the week before. Okay. What about the week after the full moon? Okay. And what about the second week after the full moon? Okay. All right, so for the week before the full moon, you've got the Queen of Spring, which is the Queen of Wands. Brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly. Yeah, definitely this very vibrant individual. She carries a little bright wand. She walks into a room, lightens it up because of her confidence and her, it's just like a little sun walking into the room. And it says, believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. So exactly as I was saying about, it's very important as you're looking at your next step, maintaining this balance between investing yourself in your career and like those aspirations and what you consider your home life, and doing that. Yeah, because you can be so energetic and have so much energy that you can try to do too much. And like I said, you can get really focused in, that Virgo energy. You can get really focused in on being task oriented, and realize, oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock and I didn't fix dinner yet, So, it's really about making sure you're nurturing yourself and making sure you're taking time with family and with your friends, because it does bring you joy, and it does, it does bring you this extra energy as well. And then the week after the full moon, you've got the Four of Summer, which is the Four of Cups. And that says here, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, discontentment with life. Yeah. And you can see here, again, and you have this little children in here. Your little child is asking for your attention. But the Four of Cups, or the Four of Summer as it's called in here, you'll see like 3 cups that are out here, and they're looking at them like bored and discontent. And then the Ace of Cups is being offered to them off to the side. And it's really this message about, it tells you that the things in the outside world that are supposed to fulfill you really end up disappointing you, and they don't fill you like you were told or led to believe that they would. And so you're just kind of like, well, I'm just not, like I said, you're just not content with it. It doesn't fulfill you, doesn't make you feel whole. But the Ace of Cups is actually like the Holy Grail. It's the chalice. It's full of the living waters. These other 3 cups were full of water that doesn't fulfill us. It's from the outside world. It's conditional. Just makes you thirstier, just makes you hungrier, doesn't satisfy you. But this cup is like manna. It's the living water. It does fulfill your soul, because what it is the essence of the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. The 3 cups are the conditional love of the world. And what we're searching for is this love that we can't lose. And this is the love that's eternal, the love that's stable, because it comes from the Mother and Father of all things. It's what we're made out of. And so this Ace of Cups comes to us. And then that we understand is what fulfills us. And we find that within ourselves. So when I was talking about making sure, being a parent to your inner child, it's about you bringing in and giving that love and that attention to your little inner child. So I love that. And then the second week after the full moon, you got the Hermit. So again, this is about, let me read it here. It says, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. And at first, I thought that said, find her be a mother. Mother yourself. But really, this is about finding you. This is you, the real you. And this is about an internal journey that you go on to really find the real you, to find that Ace of Cups, right? Like I was just talking about. And so the Hermit doesn't mean that you're, ostracizing yourself from everyone. You're going up to a mountaintop and, living your life that way. This is making sure you're taking time for you, taking time for that internal search, that internal reflection, so you can find that you that's inside, because that's the star. That's the little sunshine that you are. And so you want to, make sure you take time to do that. You don't have to overcommit to family and to friends, but you do want to make yourself a priority. And so that's the second week after the full moon. We do also want to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot. And for this, we're just going to dig in further for each of those 3 weeks and see what else the Creator wants you to know. Right, Creator. So this energy here, what do you want her to know about this energy? All this energy that you have to deal with here. Yeah, you got the Emperor here. And the Emperor, it, for me, a big part of it is that it represents the divine masculine side of things, which is the controlling, trying to put things in order, trying to make plans, but also when taken to the extreme, they become a dictator instead, and they try to put all these expectations and rules in place for everyone and everything. So like a loving emperor, they would, if we're all going to come together and live harmoniously, then we're going to have some ground rules, so that we all don't get sick and we don't kill each other. And so there's these basic rules that are intended with love to everyone to work together. Like, okay. But when Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kicks in and an emperor turns into a dictator, then it puts rules in place to keep them in power and to manipulate and to control. And so I really feel like there's this awareness that comes in here around all this beautiful energy that you, during this week, it's understanding, I'm hearing like I think it was from Cinderella with Drew Barrymore in it, where it was like with great power comes great responsibility. And that's what I'm hearing for here, because you got the Queen and you got the Emperor. It's like you have this amazing, brilliant confidence in this, but you don't want to try to control people. You want it to be this beautiful, warmth that you give, but it's not about manipulating others, and it's not about trying to control other individuals. It's really about bringing all of that energy back in, and not trying to obey all the rules and the supposed to's and the shoulds and need to's and have to's, and investing so much energy in maintaining all that for yourself and for others. But it's about really bringing all that energy back into you, because we're really focusing on spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself, nurturing yourself, and doing that. So, and let's talk about here, what about these things that no longer or ever were fulfilling, and what is this new love coming in for yourself? What do you want us to know about this week after the full moon? Okay, you do want both of these. Okay, yeah. So here we go. So definitely it's these expectations, because for me this is the expectations, the heartbreak card, when you're disappointed, when things don't go your way, the way you expected. So it's like, it's like, here's the 3 swords, it's like the 3 cups. It's like, yep, they definitely were not fulfilling. I'm ready to let them go because they no longer serve me. Yeah, because then you have the new opportunities. Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world and opportunities. Giant coins, so it's about abundance and the feeling of abundance coming in, which, then, like you had I mentioned the Ace of Cups is offered to you. Well, here's the Ace of Pentacles offered to you. So it's a different type of abundance that's offered to you than what you thought would make you feel whole and complete. And I really feel it has to do with this inner search that's going on here during this period, because Pisces, full moon is, like we were talking about before, is very much the veil is thin and connecting to the higher realms, connecting to that higher love. You understand abundance in a whole different way. You start to get this sip from that Ace of Cups and go, oh my God, what is this? It's delicious. And then what about this third week here? Or the second week after the full moon? What do you want them to know about this time spending on the inner search here? What's this all about? Okay, like this one and this one. Yep, the World. Ending of a major cycle and the beginning of a new one. So definitely a beautiful, why you're going on the inner search is because you're ready for something to end and to find a new way of doing things there. Yeah, and then you've got the Three of Wands here. So wands are like your fire element, your fiery energy, and it represents like your drive, your ambitions, what you want to do with things. So you've got the Queen of Spring was the Queen of Wands. So this is the Three of Wands. It's like new opportunities. You're ready to set off on to do something new and different, which makes sense with this Hermit and this inner search. Like you're tired of the old. You're ready to head off into the new, which makes sense with this, this ending of a major cycle in your life. Usually like the Two of Wands is like making plans, and like the Ace of Wands is like a new spark to do something new and do something different. So I feel like you didn't get the Ace of Wands here, so it's not a brand new start, but it's like the cycle ending, and you've already like had a new beginning in ways, and this old cycle is like finishing, ending. I mean, you had already started off onto something else as the old one was ending, and you made plans, but now it's like something switched where you're readjusting those plans as you're ready to go on to another level. So when it's talking about these next steps and what they want you to know about the next steps is this inner search and this inner awareness that's coming is going to have you make a change of plans, and so be flexible with that. Allow the true finishing of old cycles to end, and continue on the journey into this inner world. When we talked about in the introduction about we're coming into Aries, and so you're leaving behind Pisces energy with this full moon and starting this new whole cycle. So I really feel this is kind of like reflecting that in an inner way where you are realizing, yes, the things that you truly want to do, you're like, you knew you were going to head north-ish, but now you're like, yeah, but I'm really going northwest-ish. And so it's like you knew you were headed this way and you started off in that direction, but you're like, well, I'm going to kind of curve and go this way as well. So just this adjustments, being aware that your inner journey is okay. Be flexible with your plans. Be flexible with what you want the end result to be, because change is coming, and it's coming from inside you, not from outside. And then since we were talking to your feathered friends, we're also going to pull a card here from your guardian angel deck and see what your guardian angel has to say for you. And we all have a guardian angel specific for us, who was created the moment we were created. Our soul was created. And they'll be with us throughout all eternity. They're our comrade, our bestie that will always be with us no matter what. And they wanted to, and we're totally okay with that because they're awesome. And I love showing this card because it's a great message for this period of time, especially with the veil so thin. But we are never alone. We always have this large expanse of beings of unconditional love and light that are always with us, supporting our journey. They won't mess with our free will. So if we want answers and we want them to help us, we just have to ask of our own free will. And they're so willing and so ready to help. But you got the Creator and you got Spirit, got your guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones that were with us on this path in our life this time, but have already gone home, your ancestors, just an endless slew of beings of unconditional light, love and light that are with you and never leave you alone. And I mean that in a nice way, not like they won't leave me alone. They're like they never leave you or abandon you. And the message from your guardian angel has to do with conflict. And it says, feelings which you've suppressed for a very long time are yearning to be acknowledged and expressed. You're torn between what you think is the right thing to do and what your heart wants. And this is the primary cause of stress in your life. We, your angels, urge you to follow your heart. Do what you would love, not what you think you should. That's expectations, right? This is all about these expectations. So, yeah, that's the conflict inside, is you fear what will it mean if you don't do all these things that you're supposed to do, you should do, that you have to do and you need to do. It's like, no, you don't. This is all about bringing that energy into this inner search. Again, making sure you are nurturing yourself and putting you at least at 50-50 with what you're giving to everyone else, if not more. And they recommend more. It's time to give to yourself and to fill yourself up with this beautiful, beautiful energy and attention, and really give. The little baby you, your little inner child, the love that you're able to give it, that no one else can. I love it. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Whispering Woods deck. And I just was really drawn to this deck because we've got the fairies going on and the birds going on and the woods. We're just like, yes, the woods, the magical woods. So this will be, what is the final message that Spirit has for all the Virgos? There we go. And you got risk. Learn to grow wherever you're planted. Yeah. And it's important for you. If you're going to grow, you need to give yourself that love and that attention and all that care. Because if you don't, give that to you and you're giving it to everyone else, the little plant dies. The little plant is like barely hanging on. So it's making sure that you are that plant that deserves all the sunlight, all the nutrition into your soil, all the water, perfect amount of water, so that you can grow and be and show the you. Because, I always look, if this, mama bird or daddy bird, if they're exhausted and not able, and they're not feeling healthy, then they're not going to be able to help them. And they just teach their little offspring and everyone else, this is what you can expect. This is who you should be too. You should exhaust yourself for everyone else. But you would give that advice, to all your children and friends that you care for. Make sure you take time for you. Well, you do too. Oh no, I don't need it. But you make sure you do. No, you need to take that advice. All right, beautiful. I love this for you. Just know as you go throughout this full moon in Pisces that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. Have a beautiful Pisces full moon. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.